Good morning, Year 5. Today we are going to actually start writing our myths finally. So we've got 3 more days to write our story and we'll finish it by the end of the week. So today's hello, I can write the first 2 paragraphs of my myth. Let's recap the toolkit features we were looking at in the last couple of weeks. The ones we're really going to be interested in today are the expanded noun phrases, a bit of a description of a hero, and a bit of a description of a villain or creature. Okay, not a detailed description, but just an introduction. Okay, so let's just remind ourselves what we need to be looking for today. So paragraph 1, where does the story take place? Make sure you have researched some Greek locations or islands. Okay, and then you need to introduce your characters. So the villain, the hero, and possibly a creature as well. I think a lot of you have gone down that road. Okay, so similar to Theseus and the Minotaur. We need some description of these people, but we're not getting into the really detailed one yet. We'll save the detailed description of the creature for paragraph 3. Okay, but think about their character. Are they brave, cruel, intelligent, crafty, that kind of thing? And then paragraph 2 will be sort of the build-up to the problem. So what mission does your hero have to go on? Why do they have to go on it? Where do they have to go? How do they get there? Does your hero meet anybody along the way? Okay, so it's the bit that gets you to where they meet the creature, the monster. Okay, that'll be paragraph 3. So I'll just take you back to some of your planning you did last week. You made a mind map, didn't you, for your characters, just to get an idea of what kind of person they were. So I did one here for King Minos. I have a little reminder here about making your name sound Greek. I've seen some people naming their characters after their friend in your class. That doesn't sound like a Greek myth. If you've got a Zanane or a Noah or a I don't know, try and choose some Greek names, okay, not just your mates' names. I gave a little example here. The cruel and spiteful King Minos, who was a mortal enemy of Greece, owned a fearsome and powerful Minotaur. Okay, so we're getting into a bit of a description of the king, cruel and spiteful, and then telling us a bit more about what was so horrible about him. Okay, right, I'm going to show you how you could start your first paragraph, and then I'll leave the rest of it to you. So I'm just going to do a bit of a modelled write. I'm going to start with a fronted adverbial. Okay. Long, long ago on the ancient Greek island of Santorini. Now that's kind of a double fronted adverbial, isn't it? So it tells us when the story is happening, long, long ago, and it tells us where the story is happening on a Greek island of Santorini. That's one of the big roles of fronted adverbials, is to tell you when something is happening, where it's happening. It sort of guides the reader and lets them know what's going on and where we are. Okay. Long, long ago on the ancient Greek island of Santorini, there lived a cruel and terrible king. Okay, so we've got an expanded noun phrase here to describe the king. King, I've made up a name, Axios, not quite sure what that means. King Axios, and then a relative clause, who was despised by his own people, comma, was guarded by a ferocious creature. Okay. Now let's read this out. Always read things back to yourself. Long, long ago, on the ancient Greek island of Santorini, there lived a cruel and terrible king. King Axios. We've got king and then king there, haven't we? What's another word for king or a terrible leader? I'm going to change that one to tyrant. A tyrant is a leader who's very, very horrible to his people. Okay? And that way we haven't got the same word repeating. King Axios, who was despised by his own people, was guarded by a ferocious creature. You could say a bit more about why this king was despised. Okay, I think that's what that's missing there, but we'll crack on. The arachnoid, and then I'll do dashes, half spider, half wolf, watched over his master day and night. Okay, so we've got ferocious creature, expanded noun phrase. Watched over his master. Should we put an adjective in there to make it an ENP? His evil master, day and night. So it's a bit of an introduction. We've introduced the two villains, the villain and his creature. Let's also introduce our hero as well. Okay, we're not going into too much detail yet. We can still describe him a bit later. In Athens, comma, so another fronted adverb is to tell us where we are. There lived a humble and kind farmer's daughter called, I don't know, Ariadne. That sounds Greek, doesn't it? Sounds like a Greek female. So we've introduced where she is, that she's humble and kind, so it's clear that this is going to be one of the goodies, the hero of the story. But we could extend that a bit, couldn't we? In Athens, there lived a humble and kind farmer's daughter called Ariadne, who looked after orphans' children from around the city. Okay, so we've described something else that she does that tells us that she's kind. So we've now got three characters, a bit of information about them, and we'll develop more in the next paragraph. Okay. Paragraph 2 is where we have to say what mission your hero goes on and why. Okay, so this is really where we set up the problem. Are they going to travel over to the island? Are they going to challenge the king or the creature? So where do they have to go? How do they get there? Does your hero meet anybody along the way? I'm going to leave that to you because I don't want to start confusing your stories. But today it's all about writing 2 paragraphs. As a rough guide, I think each paragraph could be about half a page. You don't need to miss lines, so don't leave blank lines anymore. I think that's not necessary at this point. Do your best. I'll check over it. I look forward to reading your stories. Right, see you later. Bye.